You know, when you win, people forget what they said about you when you were not winning. There was a lot of unfair criticism against our captain. He was criticized by a person that don't even know the game of cricket. They used to write stuff, but what I like, they started deleting those tweets so fast, faster than our fastest bowler. And I want to say to you, Themba, this country is truly rich because you are a citizen of this country. You are a fantastic captain. I saw a 4-year-old white boy today singing that song with your name. And I looked at that and I realized that this is who we are, South Africa.
I think as from a team's perspective, in terms of the legacy that we'd like to leave behind, we'd like to be the start of a team that encourages and inspires other teams to start winning trophies. It's something that the guys who've been wearing the Proteas badge for a while that we speak about is what connects us. So we hope that this can be the start of a lot more of these trophies. But I think we know as a team as well, as much as we've achieved what we've achieved in the 18 to 24 months, it's not a big legacy as of yet. We'll speak again in 2 to 3 years' time. And I think that's probably the biggest thing, that we want to start a culture of winning trophies for the country.
Yeah, I think that the big thing, and firstly what it shows, and you can only look at the guys sitting in front here, this still remains the best format for them. It's the format that they hold the dearest. And the big spin-offs for me is that you've got a strong test team that plays regularly, that performs as well as we have, then the spin-offs are major for the other formats. We know T20 is the most popular and it's the one that brings in the money, but you'll have good T20 teams on the back of good test teams, because your best players remain your best players, whether they play T20 or test cricket. That's been proven. So we're very hopeful that going forward, it remains the pinnacle of the sport. I think we've seen people fall in love with test cricket again. I've never seen so many people watch test cricket. I've never seen so many people in the airport before. And that's not on the back of a T20 anything. That's on the back of a test team being as successful as we are.
Thanks. Yeah, it was quite overwhelming. Like Shuk says, I haven't seen a lot of people like that before. Quite different to the last time we came back from the World Cup 2023. A lot more happier faces this time, but I think for us as players, at least for myself, you don't really realize what you've done, but to start to interact with people back home, to see the emotion, to hear the things that they're saying, really gives you a proper insight into what we've done. So I think we're proud, obviously, as a team that we've been able to achieve something like this, but we're even more happy and prouder that we've made our people proud. And I think the biggest thing, you look at our team, you look at the guys at the helm, we've done it the proper South African way. And I think that's something that I think is unique to this group, is that we've embraced everything that means to be South African.
Yeah, so like I told the one reporter there when he asked a similar question, that I was tired of talking about that. This was pre the test match. I don't think we ever felt that there is a big three. We only in their own minds is there a big three. We've never felt that there's a big three. We might not have played England or Australia in the build-up to the final, but we managed to play Australia in the final, and we wouldn't have wanted it any other way. We always feel that we belong at the main table. Any South African team should never be. We never even felt that we were underdogs in any. It's never a conversation that happened in any of our team talks. Everybody dubbed Australia as the huge favourites, probably on the back of the experience more than anything else. But to answer your question, Gama, we're one of the main cricket teams in the world, and like I said also, we've created our own reality. We're the test champions now. So I feel absolutely nothing about the top three. I don't believe that there is a top three. They create their own realities, and unfortunately, none of it is a champion. We are.
I've got a good, strong support system around me. It'd be hard for me to single out one specific person outside of my family. I think everything that I've done, the opportunities, the life that I have, I owe it to them. And as much as us as a team, we achieved something like this, we had the opportunity to share that moment with our families there. So I think for me, that's probably, there's nothing bigger than that. To see them there, to see the joy in their eyes. For me, there's nothing bigger than that. I think in terms of what we've achieved, I think it speaks to all budding cricketers out there. Actually, not cricketers, individuals within South Africa. I think us as a team, we have our story. It hasn't been a simple and easy one. We've come through a lot, but we've managed to get to where we are. So similar to them, in their quest, in their journey for what they want to achieve, as long as they keep having their passion and keep pushing, that they can also achieve what people think is the unachievable. Yeah, I think as much as the Australians, they were saying it in the field, but I don't think in the group it's ever something we made it our own thing. We've been confident enough that we've been playing good cricket. We've been getting ourselves into positions where we can be in finals. And I think like anything, you got to just keep going. You got to keep being relentless in that pursuit. And there was always that belief that at some point, the harder we knock on that door is going to open. So we don't believe that it was our tag or label to carry. Yes, there's a responsibility that you always have when you wear the PROTEAS badge. But I don't think anyone here can sit and say, no, we're not chokers. It was never a thing of ours. We never spoke about it in our team meetings. So nothing is different from that point of view, at least.
I'm going to take you back to the evening of day three. And firstly, I'm going to disappoint you because we don't talk a lot. We actually don't say anything. I think people are looking for like silver bullets flying all over the show. Unfortunately, you're not going to get it here because we don't spend a hell of a lot of time talking. At the end of day three, all I said to the guys was, this is the game right here. Let's make sure that we don't change anything. I can't say what else I said. But basically it was, whatever you did the night before, do it again. And we just rock up here and we do our thing. And whatever it is, it will be good enough. And that was the end of the conversation. So, and even the next day, I know Stubbo's quite a superstitious guy. I never knew that. I couldn't get up to go to the toilet at any stage because he kept blocking my way. I had to stay put in the corner there. But look, I think everybody went through their own bit of emotions. You sit there and, you portray this really calm figure, but you're churning inside, because you're playing all these scenarios that potentially can go wrong, because things have gone wrong before. But whilst that broad bat of Aiden Markram was still out there, then I pretty knew that we had this. So not a hell of a lot actually. Everybody deals with it in their own way. I know it was very quiet. That's all I can tell you. But yeah, we don't talk a hell of a lot. They're a team of action rather than words. Not a hell of a lot. I think we knew we were behind. But again, the hallmark of this team is the ability to stand up and different guys to stand up when the occasion demands. I spoke of Aiden's broad bat. He doesn't like me to refer to him as a superstar. The good thing is that he made the news for all the right reasons this time. But when you need your Rolls Royce to come purring down the street, and he does that, and I'm talking about Kagiso Rabada now. There was no talk, took the new ball, they were 70 for 7. But even before then, a 9-over spell. I'd never seen Lungi bowl as much as that in his life, you know, let alone in one spell. But that spell of Lungi pretty much turned the test match in our favour. The world's best batsman, he stood between us chasing 280 and maybe 380. And Lung's spell, again, on the back of criticism, all of these things, Minister, you talk of, our guys just know when to stand up, Ken, and this is the hallmark of this team. Different guys do it when as required, everybody. And I mean, we won comfortably in the end, and again, this is not me being windgat or arrogant. I still don't think we've played as well as we can play.
Wow.
I mean, Aiden's probably played his best test knock. I don't think South Africa has seen a better test innings. KG, Plank, all of these, I can name the guys that have performed in this test match. But there's so much else sitting in this change room, and that it like scares me. And it excites me at the same time as to where we can go with this group. And yeah, I really look forward to that next couple of years.
I think like Enoch said, I think for now it's more for us to, I guess, to acknowledge and embrace what we have done, to take it all in, to understand as players the role that we've played to get us to this point, and really just live in that moment for a little bit longer. Then I think, I mean, the beauty about international cricket is that there's always something else that's awaiting. So once we get over ourselves, all our emotions, then it will be what's the next thing. The guys, there's obviously the Zim tour that obviously leads into the start of the new test cycle. So we'll be setting our eyes for what it is that we want to achieve over there. But there's always something that we always working towards. Like I said, it's a legacy that we're trying to put together as a team. The legacy is not done now after 18, 24 months. But for now, it's for us to enjoy what the moment has brought us.
We obviously know what the tours program is for us for the next cycle. So nothing to be said on that. But domestically, we must make sure that we're constantly challenging our players to get as close to what international levels are required. We sent an A side to the West Indies a couple of weeks ago. They were hugely successful. We've got a couple of A tours this year, one inbound and one to India as well, just before our series in India. So a lot happening in, let's call it the level between international cricket and domestic, i.e. the A side. But we definitely need to be playing a lot more first-class cricket domestically, and in that way ensure that we get hardened first-class cricketers that can step up into the international scene a lot easier.
We want to carry on with the momentum that we've gained. I think we're obviously quite optimistic as to what can also happen within that space. We see no reason as to why we can't emulate what we've done here within the white ball space. You look at the guys here, a majority of those guys, you'll probably see them within those white ball teams. So, yeah, it's more optimistic than everything. We had a little conversation about it a couple of days ago, Shukri, in terms of the white ball space, and you know, his mind is always ticking as to what is the next thing that's coming about. So keeps me on my toes, keeps everyone on their toes. It makes you know that there's always some sort of work that you need to do. So I think, yeah, we can expect good things to happen within those spaces as well.
I think, look, I think it's, and it's almost cliche, you know, you try and get them to be the best person that they are, both off the field and on the field, because I think the one affects the other. And if they can be their authentic selves off the field, then there's no reason why they're not going to be that on the field. And we try and encourage that, you know. We understand that different players are going to bring different things. And we want, for far too long, I feel that we've been too, I've got to choose my words carefully here now. We haven't seen and embraced our country's, what's the word?
Landscape.
Yeah, the landscape, and also everybody brings something different, you know. And as a coaching staff, that's pretty much what we set out to do, is to allow players to play like they can play, and to try and create that environment. And then with that comes the belief. We are really trying to instill in them that belief that, and it's not necessarily in a team environment. It can just be a quiet conversation. And for, yeah, I think this victory will give us a lot of belief, right? It's not really how it looks. It's like just getting the job done. We've also got a poker group in the team, and it's not about the cards that you get dealt, it's how you play those cards, you know. And sometimes you get the most rubbish cards, but you got to find a way, and that's something that we just get on with it. We try and find a way. We don't see obstacles, we see opportunities, and we get behind each other. So that's pretty much the philosophy. Nothing too deep, because that's another saying Ashes brought that on board, that it's not that deep, you know. We just get on with it. And these guys are, you lose them after 5 minutes if you had to have a meeting that goes on longer than that. They're just a willing and able bunch. And I want to acknowledge the senior guys as well, you know. Obviously we talk of Lord Themba, but then there's Prince Makram and Prince Rabada and Maharaj and Ngidi, all the senior guys that have been for over the years, and they pull us in the right direction. And we try and create leaders as we go along the way as well.
First thing I thought about was, oh no, not again. I think that time the situation of the game was quite a key one. Betting with Aiden out there, so you know, any thoughts of not continuing wasn't going to be entertained on my side. I went against the advice of the coach and the batting coach, but I think, I mean, at the end, you know, with the right type of support, it was the right decision. I've had my fair share of injuries. I'm not 25 anymore. You know, I am closer to probably the end. So I think it's just for me to accept. I probably go to the gym a lot more than I did as a youngster, but I think I just need to continue with that. But yeah, it seems like that's part of my story or journey at the moment. I don't think this one is going to keep me out for too long. But yeah, I think it's just part and parcel of being a sportsman, right? You go through the criticism, you go through these issues with your injuries and your bodies. But the thing is, you gotta wake up the next day and then find a way to keep going forward. So I think no different to how I've done things. Like I said earlier, I'm going to enjoy this moment, but probably come Monday, I'll probably start writing my way how I want to go about things going forward.